As I've been on this fitness weight loss journey with Christ, one of the main things that keeps me going are the things that I cannot see. For most people, it's the opposite. Like if they're not seeing results, they want to quit. If they're not seeing results, they feel defeated or their mind starts to feel negative. They feel like they're doing something wrong. They feel like change is not happening. Or if the numbers on the scale are not budging the way they want them to or as much as they want them to, like they want to quit. But for me, it's the things that are not visible to the eye but can be felt. For example, yesterday I did this workout that used to be like really challenging for me. I wouldn't be able to get through all the reps. I would be out of breath. I was messing up steps. I couldn't keep up. I would have to pause, rewind, or whatever the case may be. I just could not get through the workout. But I did that workout for the first time in a while, and I was able to not only get through it and complete all my reps, I wasn't out of breath. I also was able to keep up with all the steps, even though it had been so long since I did it. And I didn't even realize it until after the workout was over that I was like, wow, like I really did that. Like I was able to do that. In that moment, I could feel the strength that I had accumulated in my body. Like I could physically feel that my body was able to do more. Like I was able to do something that used to be so difficult for me and it wasn't as hard. And moments like that are what keep me going. And my fitness journey mimics my walk with Christ. It takes faith to lose weight and it takes faith to walk with God. And one day, and it makes me want to cry, like thinking about this, you're going to look back on your walk with Christ and you're going to realize how hard things used to be and how things that were so challenging for you aren't as challenging anymore. And it's so easy for us to lose sight of the things that we cannot see because we're so focused on seeing tangible evidence of our faith. You want to see the abundance. You want to see the marriage. You want to see the children. You want to see the job or the house, the car, whatever tangible thing that you're waiting on from God. You want your life to do a complete 180. You want to see evidence that your faith in God, that your walk with Christ was not in vain. Let me tell you something. Even if you have not seen the physical manifestation yet, there is still change. You are still getting stronger. You are getting wiser. You're becoming more knowledgeable. You are still becoming a new creation. Every time you get tried or every time the enemy tries to mess with you, you'll realize you get back up faster. You'll realize things that used to faze you don't faze you anymore. You'll realize that you're stronger. You'll realize that those moments are just as important as the physical manifestation of the promise, of all the work that you have put in, all the praying, all the worship, all the crying. Change was still happening. Even though you couldn't see it, you can feel it. You remain steadfast and you keep going. And when you finally get the thing that the Lord wanted you to have, you'll realize things were always working out in your favor and change was always happening long before the physical manifestation even came. And you'll realize that when the weight is finally gone, when the house finally comes, when your wife or your husband is finally there, when you finally get that child, when you finally get that job, when the abundance finally manifests, those things will be merely confirmation to all the things you have felt all along. Proof that things were always happening even when you couldn't see it, when you could just feel it, when you could just feel it in the spirit before you even push that thing out, when it was just a dream, when it was just a prophecy, when it was just something that you wrote in your journal, when it was just a goal or an aspiration. You'll wake up one day and be like, wow. And even if you never get to see those tangible things that you've been wanting to see, your faith in God's love was always enough. The feeling that you had in your spirit was always enough. The small encounters, the memorable moments you had with Jesus throughout your life were enough. Your faith alone was always enough. And your faith alone, your faith the size of a mustard seed, brought about change. It may not have been the change or the tangible results that you wanted to see, but that doesn't make it any less significant. Like, yeah, you'll finally get that house. You'll realize that your faith in Jesus is what produced that house. Because it's not by our own strength, but His. And the journey that you've been on will be so much more precious to you. Way more precious than the tangible manifestation of those things. Keep the faith.